I have no idea if this is working, my darlings. I hope it is. Let's see. If you're there, can you hear me to start with? We are in the new sewing room. We are in the office. It's not the office, but we've just had some technical issues. None of the cameras were working, even though Drew came over yesterday and they were all working perfectly. When I tried to go live, none of them were working. So if you're there, my loves, can you let me know if you can hear me? I hope you can. Is this working? Let me know. Okay. Have you got sound? Is there sound? Yeah, it looks fab. Thanks. I'll see if I can do a sneaky peek round in a minute. You can definitely hear me, guys. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Taryn. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Jane. You can hear us. Brilliant. You can hear us, but with a little bit of an echo. Ooh. Okay, right. I've bought a new microphone. Look, it's posh. Like, I don't know if you can see this. A posh microphone and everything that's supposed to stop all the echoing and static and everything. So I'm wondering if the settings all went really dodgy and we had no cameras. Drew spent like an hour yesterday getting it all ready and we did a little test and it's brilliant. It's working perfectly. And now it's not happening. Brilliant. Hi, hello, my darlings. Oh, lots and lots of you coming online. Let's have a little look. Hi, Linda. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Louise. Hi, Tina. Hi, Eileen. Oh, lots and lots of you. Might just need to get used to it. Yeah, this is going to take a little bit of playing around. I haven't got a picture-in-picture. You know, when we go to the overhead, you can normally still see me. That's not working. Couldn't get that to work. So, hi, Carolyn. Who else is there? Hi, Jane. Hello, my darlings. Oh, lots of you coming online, which is fantastic. It is going to take a little bit getting used to. The room is it is a little echoey at the moment, but I've still got stuff that I want to put up on the walls and things. So I've still got shelves to go up, but I'm going to sort of work in it for a few days, and then we can work out where everything needs to go. My husband's got his little office over there, over on the corner there. I'm very lucky. It's a beautiful space. I was working in here last night and it's amazing. Maybe the room's too empty. It is at the moment, I think, lovely. But I've started to put some quilts up. I want to put some other stuff up just to kind of dampen the sound a little bit, I think, because at the moment I think it's still very empty. Give me a chance. I've got to get my fabric sorted. I mean, it's all in here, but it's all just in boxes everywhere. So I'm getting there slowly, but it is really exciting. Thanks, Eileen. I am very excited that I've got my own space. Oh, my dining room looks so lovely. My dining room is like empty apart from the dining room table and just a little cabinet. And it's like the boys have been playing board games because they've got space. It's amazing. So it's amazing what happens when you throw a child out, isn't it? I didn't really throw him out. He left of his own accord. But hopefully you're all okay. Hopefully everyone's well with you guys. What was I going to tell you? Right, so Sean has asked me to let you all know, those of you who are on the April retreat, the final email has gone out with your menu choices and your itinerary. There's 2 different emails that have gone out. We have to get the menu choices in by the end of next week, so please do look for that email. You might have already found it, a lot of you already will have, but some of you, we end up in people's spam folders and junk folders, so please do check and get your menu choices in, okay? So have a little look after this, obviously. Stay and play with me first, and then go and have a look on your email. Who else is there? Oh, Debbie, I know, I'm very lucky. This was originally an office when we moved into this place. This was an office, and then one of the children moved home and we had to turn it into a bedroom. And then obviously through lockdown and everything, we started the 1 o'clocks and took over my dining room. And now it's all back in here. So now Drew's moved out. He's got his own flat. So I had the room empty. So Josh has moved up into the bedroom that Drew was in, and we've done the office out. This is what my husband spent his week off doing. It was this, so bless him. You've already completed. Thank you, Sean. I will let her know. You've got them as well. Brilliant, fab. So hello everybody. Hopefully you're all okay. quick little bit of news about that, about the retreat. If you are local and you want to go to Malvern, Penarth and District Quilters, we've put a thing up in the Gigglers. They are running a coach trip. So if any of you are not on a coach trip, I know Marion Welshman, you were looking for someone who's running a coach trip. They're running a coach trip. So check out the Gigglers page and look for the post, and there's the details of who you can contact. How is everyone? Is everyone okay? You all right? I hope so. Hi, Angela. Hello, my darling. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making one of these. Okay, like this. All right. It's a really nice big tote bag. And I'm gonna go to the overhead. Let's see if this works. It's all like into the walls now instead of on dodgy tripods and balanced on books. It's all very swish. Right, so I think this is the overhead. I think I'm over here. The numbers have changed slightly. So what we're going to be doing today, and because we've got a bit more time because I'm doing an evening one, is one of these little bags here, which has, like normally with a tote bag, it's got a nice little zip, but you'd only be able to open it up that much. Right, am I in the right place? Okay, I don't know if that's the right place. This, you can open all the way up and you can open it wide, like that. You can like get right in there and you can get loads and loads of stuff in it. So that's what we're going to have a little play with today. It's quite an easy little make. I will confess that this zip went in 4 times when I was making this sample. And it's also the second zip that went in. So the first zip that I put in went in perfectly, absolutely brilliantly. Your square on the map, perfect position, brilliant. Thank you, Debbie. So you can see perfectly, brilliant. Thanks, Sean, excellent. The first zip went in absolutely perfectly. And then I realised I put it in the wrong way round, even though it'd gone in fine. So I had to take that one out and put it in the right way round. And then I put it in wrong and the zipper came off. And do you think I could get it back on? It would not go back on. So I dumped that zip and then I put this one in and I realised I put the zipper tab on the wrong end. So I had to take the zipper tab, take it all apart, take the zipper tab off and put it on the right end. So this was the 4th zip that went in that here. So just so you know. But it's a really lovely project, really lovely little bag. You could get loads in here. It would be a beautiful bag for taking in like lunch and diary and everything into work. You could use insulated wadding if you wanted to with it. I've used the brand new Liberty on this. This is called Pebble. It's one of the Pebble Liberty range, which I think is beautiful. It did originally have a grey zip. It's got a hot pink zip because I broke the grey one. Zipgate. It really was, Carolyn. It was Zipgate. And I've used one of the pebbles on the inside. This lovely little floral as the lining. So this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to run through with what you need. It's not my pattern. There was about 6 or 7 on Pinterest and I kind of cobbled together loads of them. But I'll put a link of one that is very similar onto our Facebook page where you can get a written pattern for it. But it's quite easy to make once you get your head around the zip. Right, what you're going to need is, now I'm using the new Euphoria, which I think is stunning. It's this big sort of like watercolour print and I thought it would look beautiful as a bag. So you're going to need from your outer fabric 2 pieces. So you can see I've already cut some of them to kind of keep the time down. 2 pieces that are 17.5 inches by 14 inches. Okay. You're going to need 2 pieces of lining fabric, which are exactly the same. So this was the bottom of the bolt. So when I opened the fabric up, this was all the bottom and it gradually sort of moved up to this other colour. So I cut my bottom, the outer from the bottom, and then the lining from the top, so it all kind of matches in. And you want exactly the same from your lining, 2 pieces which are 17.5 by 14, okay, like that. So I've got 2 of those. You then want some of the fusible fleece, the H640, okay, that is exactly the same again, 17.5 by 14.5, and you want 2 of those. You're going to need a teeny tiny scrap of fabric, which is 2 inches by 2 inches, which is going to be your zipper tab. I've already done this, again, just to save time, but we'll talk through just how to do a zipper tab, okay? but it's just a little, sorry, I've got hiccups, 2" by 2" piece for your zipper tab. And then if you want to put a pocket on the inside, you need a piece from either fabric, it doesn't matter, which is 6.5 by 16.5. Okay, so this was a bit that was left over from the other bits. I've just cut a piece that I needed. You also want a piece of fusible foam, that H640, which is 6 by 8. Okay, so we're just going to start by talking through the little zipper tab. Okay, basically imagine that's a 2" square. I'm going to fold it in half like that. Okay, you then fold in all of your edges. So I'm going to fold a hem that side, a hem that side, on all 4 sides like that, and that way. Give it an iron. You put your zip, obviously this is way too big, but you put your zip in there, fold it over like that, tuck it all in, and then just sew round in a square. Okay, so it was a little bit fiddly and something that is very easy to do, so I just did that beforehand. Okay, so just make sure that you are putting the zipper tab, if you're going to do this bag, on the end of the zip. Okay, so when you open the zip, you want the zipper tab on the bit that's at the bottom, so this is open. Okay, don't as I did when I was doing the other bag, when I had a paddy, because I'd done it wrong, put the zip on this end so that when you open it, it doesn't separate. So that was why the 3rd zip came out, because I put the zipper tab on the wrong one. Hi Grace, how are you, lovely? So zipper tab must go on the end, the bottom of the zip. Okay, so that this is free. Prep that first, okay? Get that bit done out of the way. We're then going to do the pocket bit. So I've got my piece of fabric, which is 16.5 by 6.5, and you're going to fold it in half like that. Okay, there we go. Just fold that in half, and then you're going to line up your little piece of fusible foam with the fold. So you've got my fusible foam right on the fold down here, which gives you this little edge all the way round. Okay, open it back out like that. Okay, and just double check when you do that, that this is going to be the top of the pocket, and that fusible foam is right at the top. Okay, which is what you want. You want the sort of seam allowance, no foam or fleece, whatever you want to call it, all the way round. Okay, did you say the zip length? Oh, I didn't, Maria. As long as it's 14 inches or longer with the zip, you're fine, because it doesn't matter if it's longer, because you'll just have a longer tail here. This was actually a 16" zip, because that was all I had in the house, and I wasn't going back over the shop to find one. This was a 14". Okay, so I'm just grabbed a 14" zip, but 16, 20, 18, 20, as long as it's a minimum of 14, hun. Okay, so we're going to sew this little pocket up to start with. Okay, so I'm going to just fold this back over like that. That foam's nice up in there, and what we're going to do is we're going to stitch all the way down. We're going to leave a gap. So again, I always tend to put a pin in to remind me to leave a gap, a turning gap. There we go. So I'm going to put a couple of pins in to leave, what, 2" turning gap like that. And you're going to use, I'm going to use edge of foot, so about 3/8 of an inch. And we're going to stitch all the way down, leave this little bit here, and all the way back up there. So what's the light like in here for you guys? Is it bright enough? I've got like there was no light in here at all, so I'm hoping that I'm over here now. Let me know if I'm on the machine, if this is working, guys. So there were no lights in this room at all. Poor Josh lived for 4 years with just bedside lights. So I'm just using edge of foot and going all the way down. But we found these amazing like plug-in ceiling lights and wall lights. So I'm hoping that even though it's starting to get dark now, although wasn't it nice that it was like still light at 6 o'clock, it was lush. It's perfect, brilliant, lovely. Yeah, I wasn't sure about how the light was on these. So this is where my gap is, so I'm just going to stop and I'm going to back stitch a little bit just to make sure that gap doesn't come apart. Hi Melba, how are you, lovely? There we go, and then just lock stitch to start, and then all the way down. So basically your edge of foot should be just along the edge of that fusible fleece. Position of camera seems fine, brilliant, fabulous. So you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. I don't know if this is a little dark here, whether I might need to get another lamp or something, but the light here is brilliant for me. I can see really well, but how that's coming across on camera, I just wanted to double check. There we go, and then back stitch at the end. Yeah, the only thing that we couldn't fill in, I was like, 2:15, I was like, it's not working, none of the cameras are working. Right, now it's switched, so I think 2 is now the overhead. I'm gonna have to get Drew to come back over. It's nice and close watching you, so brilliant. Okay, you have better camera angles than the shopping channel. Oh yeah, Drew, bless him, he came in, messed around with it all yesterday for me, and like I said, we put the camera's actually like mounted into the wall and stuff now, so you shouldn't get any shake or anything from them. So got a little gap here. What I want to do is just clip those corners to start with, like that. So ease it through. There we go. There we go. Get rid of those little bits. Look, I've even treated myself to a new quilter's pressing mat. Not that horrible old stained one. It's nice and new for my new sewing room. Okay, so we're going to just pull through this now. Turn it all the way through. You don't have to pad this pocket, I suppose, if you didn't want to, but I thought, why not? You know, if you're putting your phone or something in there, then at least it's a bit of protection, isn't it? If it's a bit padded. Push out those corners like that. There we go, nearly there. There we go. So, yeah, it's quite strange because my dining room and lounge are all in one. It's all one big room. So for the last 3 years, well, since lockdown, I've been sewing in there, and so I was sewing in here last night, and my husband was like, "It's really odd. It's like you're not in the house." I was like, "Well, that's because you've tucked me away in the garage now." Right, just gonna iron that out. Oh, hang on, that's caught up a little bit in there. Let me just push that flat. There we go. Just going to iron that out now, like that. Just make sure that that's all nice and tucked in, the little turning gap. Okay, and that's going to be the bottom, the turning gap. So along the top here, we just want to top stitch, just to hold that nice and give a nice little neat edge. So over to here. Hi Leslie, how are you, lovely? And then I'm just going to lock stitch to start, and I'm just using about 1/4 of an inch, not even that, 1/8 of an inch. Seam allowance all the way down like that, just a top stitch, and we're done. Okay, we're now going to attach this to one of the lining pieces. So overhead is on 2. All the numbers have changed, I've got to remember. Okay, so one of your lining pieces here, you want to fold it in half just to find the centre. Just give that a bit of a finger press, find the centre. And then you're going to measure down 2 inches from that top. So measure down 2 inches, make a little mark there. And then we want to find the centre of this. Let me chop off those ends. I'm trying to be good and chop my ends as I go, so I don't end up with all my projects with little ends. Find the centre of that one, like that. And then we're going to line that up on there. Let's put some pins in. And then we're going to stitch down the 3 sides, which will close that gap up as well. Get rid of that thread there. So you don't have to sew that gap up. It will close up now as we're stitching this in place. I'm just going to put some pins in. So what's everybody been up to? What are you sewing at the moment? How you're doing? Don't forget, if you haven't done your quilt block yet for the group quilts, please do get that in ASAP. I think we've got about 80 so far. I know some of you didn't particularly like, right, I'm just going to stitch this now, okay, and then we'll talk. So I'm going to go all the way down here, all the way along the bottom, all the way back up, the same sort of depth as the top stitch, or about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, I know some of you didn't enjoy making it. I've been told that it was quite a tricky one because it was such a little one. But the fact we've got about 80 blocks in, it had to be little. Otherwise they couldn't have got you all on the quilt, because there is a maximum size you're allowed the quilt. So I hope I challenged you a little bit with it. And you learned something from it. Learned about, you know, getting your 1/4 inches or your scant quarters really well, really, you know, spot on. But I know some of you did find it tricky. I was sworn at a few times at the Tuffet class about the Tuffet class, which went really, really well. Unfortunately, we did run out of time, and we are going to be finishing off at the retreat, and people are going to come into the shop and finish. But the ladies did brilliantly. There were some amazing colours going on. There really was. So Leslie, you're still making bookcase cushions. Ah, lovely. Carol, you're doing placemats. Material arrived for the napkins yesterday. Oh, lovely. Looking forward to using them in the garden. I know. Oh, yesterday was beautiful, wasn't it? It really felt like a summer's day yesterday. It was warm. It was lovely. That block was certainly a challenge. Yeah, sorry guys. It wouldn't be fun if I didn't keep you on your toes a little bit, would it? It wouldn't be any fun. So, just stitch that pocket in place. Okay, like that. There we go. Okay, so I've got my pocket here now. Okay, you've stitched it all down, and we're just gonna trim off those ends. Right, I am going to double check my notes that I'm putting this zip in the correct way. So, let me double check my notes, because if I do it wrong again, I will be really cross. So, done all that, done all that. So the other thing I forgot to say is, once you've done your pocket, you're going to cut out these squares at the bottom. Sorry, I didn't give you the measurements of that. These are 3 3/4 inch squares out of the bottom, and you're going to do that on all of your pieces. So you want to grab one of your outers, and I've fused that to the fleece, and then I lined both the pieces, all of the bits up like that, and I cut out these squares at the bottom, which are 3 3/4 inches. Okay. Right. Now, which way did, I've forgotten which way I did it now. If I want the zip to be like that, is it on that one or is it on that one? It's on the lining. It's on the lining. So, now I've confused myself. Yes, it's on the lining. It's on the lining. See, this is what I'm not good with zips. What's that? Lovely. You had a great day today, finishing the 8 sections of the Tuffet. Oh, brilliant, Grace. Lovely. You've got my fat quarter, but you haven't done mine. Is there We'd like it in by the end of March, if possible, please. Really, you know, beginning of April at the very, very, very latest. You've knitted another mince pie today. You saved your waistline. Excellent. Liking that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to measure in from this left-hand edge here. I want to measure in 4 inches. Okay, like that. So I'm going to measure in 4 inches and make a mark. All right. And then I want to measure another line, which is 9 inches. Like that. There we go. Okay. I'm then going to do exactly the same. No, am I doing this right? Hang on. Sorry, guys. I've just got to make... If I do that... Hang on, I've just got to get my head around it. I think I'm... Oh, you know when you had everything set in your head, and then you suddenly like, right, if I do that, and do... Yes, I'm right. You then want to measure in on your zip from the zip pull end, the bit not with the pull tab. You're going to measure in from the metal bit, just here, 9 inches, because we're going to hide this bit in the seam. So I'm going to line up my ruler and put a line just where the metal bit is, just there, and also just there. Okay, so that's the 9 inches there. Okay, I'm going to use my fabric glue pen, because this worked really well when I remembered I had it yesterday. We're going to pop that in so that we're matching those lines. So Everybody still with me? Now I confused myself. Everybody still with me? Sorry, you're late to the party tonight. Your order arrived today. Exactly what you wanted. Brilliant. Fabulous, hun. Sorry, I've missed a few comments. I think that was, you had a really good day on Saturday, which I'm really glad. So dab of fabric glue down there. And then I'm going to line up the zip. So I'm going to put that one on like that. And then that one like that. And just press that down. And that's just going to hold it enough to stop it messing about. You can then open the zip up all the way like that. Okay. I'm then going to take my outer and I'm going to put these right sides together. All right. And I'm going to line up on this corner here and that corner there. Right. A couple of things you're going to do before you start sewing. First thing you want to do is, you don't want to see this little bit. So you're going to pull that out. Okay. Like that. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'm just pulling it away from the seam like that. And then I'm going to put a pin in. You do need to pin this. So pull that little edge of the zip out like that and put a pin in there. Like that. Okay. And then we're going to go down to this side. And where that point is there, that little mark, that 9-inch mark that we made, line this up on it and put a pin in that 9-inch mark. Like that. Okay. So those 2 points to start with. Open this out and move all of this down out of the way, okay? Because you don't want to sew this into this seam, this bit here, all right? So just move all of this out of the way, like that. And then we're going to go along like that, okay? And now I can put a couple more pins in. So the zip, the excess zip is down under here. It's not in this seam. And then just going to make sure that all that's lined up nicely there. And put another pin in here. And then line in and that. And you can see that that's kind of pulling out there and put one in there. So now we're going to take this to the machine and we're going to stitch all the way down there. Okay. Hi Claire, how are you, darling? We're going to go over here now, hopefully. Grace, I think you've finished all 8 sections of yours. Brilliant. Amazing. Well, let us know when you're ready to put it all together and we'll book you into the shop. So I'm putting a zipper foot on. I know Sarah Jane doesn't like to use the zipper foot when she makes bags, but I cannot do it the way she does it. And I like a zipper foot, so I use a zipper foot. There we go. Okay. And we're going to stitch. Now, this zipper foot is the same seam allowance as you need, which is 3/8 of an inch. Basically, when I get to the zip down here, I'll start sewing. I'm going to feel for the zip as well. Oh, don't go that fast there. Okay, I want to get rid of that pin out of the way now because I don't want to sew over any of the pins. There we go. There we go. Get that out of the way. I think I just hit that metal. Damn it, I didn't move it. I'm feeling for the zip here. I've got my nails against it and I don't want to hit the zip. So I'm just staying just the other side of the zip. What is my sewing foot's caught on something? There we go. That's better. Here we go. I've got a bit more control now. It was caught on itself. Let's take that one out. And I'm just feeling for that zip all the time. You can feel it with your fingers. Make sure I don't stitch it. All the way down. And then this is the one here where it's going to be the end of the zip and the excess is under here. So again, I'm just going to clamp that with my finger like that. And then now I should just be, I'm just going to double check, yeah, that zip's out of the way. I'm just sewing fabric and fabric now. There we go. Sarah, you've managed to do your 8 too. Ah, lovely, fabulous. Right. Ooh. 2. That's that one. Oh, it's confused me having them all the wrong way round. So I'm going to open that out and I'm going to double check that it's worked, which it has. So the zip is disappearing here and it's coming out just here. Okay, can you see that, guys? So that, like the little manky end of the zip here is tucked into that seam and this excess is coming out. Okay, right. flip that over like this, all the way, and just roll that for now. We're not going to top stitch at the moment, we're going to top stitch it later. So you just want to get that all out of the way. So I'm going to put a pin there just to hold that all down, and a pin over here. Like that. Okay, so the zip is in one side. I'm doing all right so far. I'm remembering it. And I haven't messed it up so far either. Now we're going to repeat for the other side. So I'm going to take the other lining piece and we're going to make those same marks. We're going to go 4 inches along here, make a mark, and then 9 inches, just like we did on the other one, like that. So I've got those lines, and I'm going to do the same on the other side of the zip. So that's the zip, that's right there. Okay, so now the zip's going to go in that way. So I want it to be just by that metal bit, and then 9 inches down, which is just there, like that. So little man's been here today, not all the whole day, he was here this morning and then came back after childminder, and he is so much better because he was been a poorly boy, he really has. There we go, so I'm going to match those up like that with that fabric pen. Yeah, he's had bronchiolitis and he's really bad cold, chest infection, he's been on antibiotics. He's not been a well little bunny, but he is on the mend, and he was an absolute little delight. You know when they're really funny? He was really funny today. So again, we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to put that top piece on like this. This fabric's really pretty. This is the new Euphoria fabric. This is, I can't remember which one this is, but they're on the website, and it starts at this on the bottom and then ends up at this on the top of the bolt. It's like almost like a scene. It's beautiful. So we're going to, again, move that out of the way. That's the bit with the metal there. So line that up and just pull that little tab out, put a pin in. There. And just like we did on the other one, got that mark there, which was the 9-inch mark. Now I'm really worried that I'm doing this wrong again. Why am I worried about it tonight? I really am. I think it's because the zip nearly beat me yesterday. Oh, I'm so like getting so cross with it. I was like, what's the matter? And I was like, it's driving me insane. I've put it in wrong 4 times. Okay, so let me just, hang on. Let me get my fingers out in the way. So I'm going to put a pin in that 9-inch mark there. And then we're going to move all of this down out of the way. So I'm going to roll it down out of the way like that. There we go. Honestly, the zip is the trickiest part of this. The rest of it is easy peasy. It was just getting it in the right way. It really was. Oh, love him. Glad he's on the mend. Oh, he was. He was so poorly, love him. We had a night from hell with him on Wednesday night. We really did. We're going to go back over to the machine and we're going to do exactly the same and sew that 3/8 of an inch again. Okay. He was here on the Wednesday night and he just started to get poorly when he was having his tea. And I thought, oh, it'll be all right. It's only a cold. I can handle, you know, I've had 5 kids. I can handle him. He's fine. Oh, bless him. We were literally, the pair of us, up all night. I was not a happy bunny Thursday. I really wasn't. I rang Cara at 5:30 in the morning because she starts work at 6:30, which is why I have him. And I was like, yeah, you can't go to work. This child needs a doctor. He's not well. And yeah, she took him to the doctor and got chest infection, bronchiolitis. But oh, he was delicious today. He was proper little darling. He's on the mend. Antibiotics have done their job. There we go, all the way down. There we go. Okay, come on. Let's get those fabrics lined back up. Make sure you're pulling that little bit out. Make sure it's right out of the way. Gives a much neater finish on the top. You don't want to see that scruffy bit of zip. There we go. Okay, like that. Definitely gonna have to watch the zip bit a few more times. Yes, I will put up a link to the pattern as well, lovelies. Okay, which you know you can have a watch as well. The zip is It's not difficult once I got my head around it. I was getting cross with myself because I kept getting it the wrong way and I couldn't see it. And then I suddenly was like, oh, duh. And I could see it then. Right. Okay, so that one's going to come over like that. And then let me just double check that that's right. And it is. There we go. So I'll flip this over this way and just make sure that that is all pulled down as well. Oh, I'll tell you what I've forgotten to bring over from the shop. The strapping stuff. Oh, phooey. I haven't got any of the webbing with me. I picked it all up, brought it over from the shop, and I forgot the webbing. I'll talk you through the webbing. I'm going to make this one without webbing. You could actually put the webbing on afterwards. Because it opens right up, you can actually put the webbing on afterwards. But I'll talk you through it. So again, line this all back up, smooth it all out, and put a couple of pins in just to keep that lining fabric out of the way. Like that. Now it's at this point you would put the webbing on, which I'm really cross I've forgotten to pick any up. Oh, phooey. So if you want to put the webbing on, you're going to find the centre again. Okay, so open that zip out like that. You're going to find the centre like that. Okay, just hold on to that centre point there. I put a pin in just to mark it for now. There we go. So that's the centre line I'm working from. Okay, you're going to measure out from that centre line 2 inches out and 1 inch down and put a mark here. Okay, and then the same there. So 2 inches across. 2 inches from the centre, 1 inch down is just there. Okay, so you've got 2 little marks there and there. Okay, and that's where you'd put your strap in. So, have I got anything here? See, I don't know where anything is anymore either. Nothing's been put. Oh, you know, I'm still sorting it, so I don't know where my webbing would be, which box it would be in. Oh, I'm really cross now. That's really annoying. Right, we're gonna fake it just for a second, okay? We're gonna pretend. So it's 1 inch wide or 25 mil strap in, okay, for it. We're gonna pretend that this is a strap for now, okay? You're gonna line the edge of your webbing strap. You could make your own bag handles, I suppose, if you wanted to, with that mark like that, and you're gonna stitch it down across, just one line, and then you're gonna up and round like that. Put that on the other mark going out, and again just stitch down there. Okay, you would then fold it up, the strapping piece, against that stitched line, and then just stitch a square to hold it in place. Okay, if I show you that here, hopefully you can see that. Can you see I've just stitched round? So stitched down and then flipped up and then stitched in place. Okay, really sorry girls, I forgot, and gents, I totally forgot to bring any what are we making? We're making a little bag. We're making an open wide bag. Yeah, totally forgot to bring your strap in. So it's at this point you would put your strapping on. Okay, so you're going to put one this side, and then you're going to turn it and you're going to measure and do exactly the same this side. Okay, but you could put it on at the end. In fact, tomorrow when we do the 1 o'clock, I'll bring some webbing on and I'll show you. You can actually do it at the end. It doesn't need to be done at this point, but it can be. Right, now we get to sew it all together. So we're going to take the outer and the outer. So pull that lining away, okay? Outer and the outer together, lining and the lining together. Pull those pins out. I've got those pins still in there, haven't I? Let's take that pin out of there. Where's the other one gone? There's another one in there somewhere. I can feel it. There it is. You only pin it down just while you put the webbing on to stop the lining moving. Oh, cross. I've remembered everything else. Sarah Jane's had a hospital appointment today, so she's not been in. So I've had the phone's gone constantly. We've had people in and out of the shop constantly, and I was like, I've sorted it all. I'm ready. It's all good. This fabric's lovely, isn't it, Marion? Really, really beautiful. It's the Euphoria. It's the new one. So outer to outer, like that. You can keep this closed. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can open it if you want, but it really doesn't matter. Outer to outer. And then like that, and lining to lining. Okay. So line them all up. So it's all nice like that. And we're gonna put some pins in. First thing you want to do is just make sure that this seam here, that top seam, is lined up like that. Okay, so put a pin in there. Do that the other side. This bit of the tail of the zip, chuck that inside, and we're going to go line up that seam that side as well and put a pin in. Are you all still with me? Is this making sense so far? I hope so. You got that? Brilliant. Fab. Fab. Yeah, the webbing's easy to put on. I just forgot it. I'm cross myself. What we're going to do is we're going to leave a gap for turning, obviously, in one of the sides of the lining. So as I like to do not sew just here. All right, going to leave sort of 4 or 5 inch gap there. We're going to stitch all the way down from this edge here. Okay, from here all the way down, stop there, leave this gap and finish there. You're going to go down the side here. You can go all the way up this side, and then we're going to go across the bottom this side as well. Okay, we're going to do that first. So we're going to whip over to the machine again. Oh, there we go. Now I need to put my other foot back on, so let's just whip that zipper foot off. Put that away because I am known to lose them. Oh. How are we doing? Everybody's still okay? You're all right? You're with me with what I'm doing? So we're going to go all the way down this seam first, still on that 3/8 of an inch seam. Okay, so just a little bit slow and steady through all that fleece, all the way down. Get into the gap, so we're going to stop at that gap and back stitch. There we go. I do need to have a day in here and organise all my fabric, because I've got no idea where anything is. Found a bar. Hey, does anybody else love the bargain basement in IKEA? I love that little bargain corner. Found these really lovely little metal shells, which has got a lockable. They're lockable as well, which means I can put like all my rotary cutters and all in the bottom. It's got a proper little key, keep them away from little man. I know it's personal choice, but how? So the most of the patterns keep doing them as carry bags. So it was 30 inches of webbing cut in half. So each strap was 15 inches. But you could make them much longer if you wanted it to be only over the shoulder bag. You could absolutely do that. But the one that I made was, which is just more of a pick up and carry type bag, was a 15 inches on each strap. Go all the way down the bottom of the lining, so right way across there. But yeah, IKEA bargain basement, sometimes you really do get some amazing deals. Really beautiful, like metal drawers. They were white, but like metal. 3 drawers, really deep drawers. One of them's lockable, which is brilliant for keeping sharp stuff away from little fingers. £17 it was reduced to. I was like, bargain, I need that. There we go, all the way up here. What we're doing now is just basically what you would do for, when you're making any bag, basically. Just doing all the size and everything. You love IKEA bargains, never disappoint. They don't, do they, Cheryl? I love an IKEA. I love IKEA, full stop. But, oh, hang on, I can feel that zip's migrated over a bit. Oh, yeah, look, I nearly caught the zipper tab. Get that out of the way. That would have been zipper disaster number 4, wouldn't it? Oh, number 5, sorry. If I'd have sewn that zipper tab in. And then along the bottom of the bag. So there we go, down this one. Yeah, my husband Phil always tuts at me. He's just like, oh, why are you doing that? It's like, because you never know what's going to be in there. You never know. So yeah, I wish they had 3 in there, and I wish I'd picked up another one, because they're really useful. Really, really useful. And they fit under the desk beautifully. Okay, now I'm not going to, I will just go back a minute. There we go. Most of my storage has come from charity shops. You're good at finding a bargain. Oh, amazing. Sarah and I used to love a little wander around a charity shop. We don't get time to do it very much now. Take your pins out like that. And then we're going to box the corners, and hopefully you all know what I mean by that. We're going to open out these cutouts, these squares, okay, and match that bottom and side seam up like that. I like to make one go one way, one the other. Let's use some clips on this. Just hold that down flat, and we're going to stitch right the way across there, okay. And then we'll do all 4 corners. So again, line up that bottom and side seam. Make sure they're going. The bottom is going the same as that way, that seam, so that you don't get a nasty twist or anything. So that one goes in there, and then we're going to do the same with the lining. So bottom and side like that. There we go, and make sure that's going the same way again. So the bottom one's going that way, so make sure that one's going that way. It just makes it all lie nice and flat that way if you make sure the seams are going all the way. And we're going to, again, use an edge of foot, stitch down all the 4 bottom corners. Box those corners nicely. So, yeah, we did have a little bit of an ordeal with the desks in this new room. So we went to IKEA. I'd had literally no sleep. I'd been up all night with little man because he was so ill. And I was off on the Thursday. So went to IKEA because we laid the floor in here, we put all the new flooring down, and it feels like, right, let's go and get the desks. Got to IKEA, and Phil's looking on his phone where the location of stuff is. So he was like, oh, they haven't got them in white, they've only got them in grey. I was like, I don't mind grey, a pale grey is absolutely fine, no problem, we can do that. So went and picked them up, got home, unloaded the car. We'd bought quite a lot of stuff. We'd bought a new bookcase, we bought a new calyx unit as well, all sorts of bits and pieces. Unwrapped the first desk. They're the wrong types of desks. They're like these honeycomb ones that you can't put like legs on, they've got to go onto trestle tables. So we had to load it all back into the car, take it all the way back to IKEA and buy the next one, buy the proper ones. He just hadn't looked properly on his phone. Right, so that's the first 2 corners done. What's that? Carol, your local IKEA is closed down? Oh, there's a shame. Oh no. Oh, see, I love an IKEA shop. I like a little wander around there. There we go. Right, and then we're going to box the corners of the... Now, I've done them nice and wide, the corners on this. But you don't have to. You could make it taller and thinner, but I think the fact that the zip opens really wide, this lovely wide base to the bag, kind of works with it. There we go. It's getting quite dark outside now. Is the lighting still okay, guys, or am I going to have to sort more lights in? Are you still okay with it? That was the only thing I was worried about, that it wasn't going to be bright enough in here to do evenings. There we go, and then last corner, and bag's nearly finished. Bag is nearly finished. Once you've got your head around that zip bit, the rest of it comes together really quickly. There we go. Make sure that's all still nice and flat. And across. There we go. Lighting's okay, brilliant, thanks, hun. I was just, it always comes across very differently on screen than it does actually in real life. So I just wanted to make sure, particularly now it is actually dark outside. So I'm going to find that little turning gap like that. And it's time to birth your bag. Pull it all the way through that gap. So let me see if I can see some comments while I'm doing this. Lighting's still good, Anne. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Leslie. That's brilliant. That's fine as long as you can see okay. I mean, most of the time we do these at 1 o'clock, don't you? And we put blinds up rather than curtains, so that we could get as much light in here as possible. So, but because it was a nighttime one, I was just aware that you guys might not see as clearly. So push out the corners on the outside like that. Get that lining inside the bag there, like that. Oh, come on. Right, hang on. If you open the whole zip up now, there we go. So much easier. And then roll that seam. Give that seam a wiggle like that and pull it all down. And this is now where you're going to top stitch. We're going to top stitch all the way around this. Now, I like to give it, like you say, give it a pull and a wiggle, and it does just seem to all come together. Right, first thing I'm going to do is, if you put your hand back up the gap and find where that seam is there, where that bulk is, make sure that's lying all to one side, or, you know, like flatten it out and then kind of keep your finger on it so that when you pull it up like that, if I put a clip on it, it'll be much easier to top stitch. It's nice and neat. Okay, and I'm going to do the same this side. So I'm going to put my hand back into here like that. Find that seam. Make sure it's all one way, flat like that. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there. I'm kind of just pushing that seam down flat, kind of hold it in place with my thumb and then pinching it there so that it stays flat. So that when we're top stitching all the way around, again, it will just give you that nice, neat finish. Okay, over to the machine again, and we're going to top stitch all the way around the outside of this bag now. Make sure you keep this out of the way, and we're going to do it about an eighth of an inch down all the way around. So back over here, and we're nearly done, guys. I'm just crossing myself. I forgot those flipping straps. So because it's a nice wide bag, you haven't got to take this bit off either. You can just go for it. So I pick a point on my foot, which is this one here. Okay, I'm just going to move that down just a weeny bit. That's just suddenly really shining in my eyes. Okay, and we're round we go. So all the way around, and we're just going to top stitch, which is very boring for you to watch, but we need to do that. That's a good tip. Yeah, again, that was something I saw on a YouTube video the other day. I was watching something else, and somebody did it on one of their bags, and I was like, oh, that's a really good, because very often you just push it through, but nothing lies particularly flat, does it? And it can be a bit bulky on those corners, particularly as we've used wadding. I was like, oh, I like that idea. I'm stealing that, and I'm going to tell all you ladies. There we go. So just move it around, keep this out of the way as we're doing it. Okay, and I've taken that clip off, so I'm keeping my finger on it to make sure nothing moves. It's still a little bulky there. Give it a bit of help. There we go. Get that nice and flat. Phil and my sister and I came down. We went to see Russell Howard on Sunday at the CIA, the Cardiff International Arena. Oh my God, he was absolutely brilliant. And we love live comedy anyway. We go to quite a lot of live comedy gigs. I have to say, I had to cross my legs very, very tightly. I was laughing that much. And those ladies who have had children will know exactly what I mean. It was unbelievably funny. We genuinely roared with laughter. You know when your face aches from laughing so much? Oh, it was a brilliant night out. Really, really good night out. Okay, nearly there. All the way around. Over that bulky bit. And it is quite bulky. Oh, hang on, it's got stuck. There we go. Just give it a little help. Because I was trying to go too fast over it. Just being impatient. Okay, and off we go. And then back over here. So I've top stitched all the way around. Just trim off those ends. I lock stitch. Because I use my lock stitch, it means that I can just snip them off. If you don't back stitch or lock stitch, then you need to bury your ends. Okay, so you could then machine up that little gap there. I'm not going to do that now because I want to show you the last little bit. No, what have I done here? I've got that inside out. There we go. So you're going to zip that up like that. Okay, you can see you've got these big gaps here now. Can you see I've got this big gap? What we're going to do is we're going to keep it zipped, and you're going to put this centre seam towards the zip like that. So you're kind of lining up that side seam, not centre seam, sorry, side seam with the edge of the zip. Pop some clips or pins over here. One like that and one like that, okay? Do the same the other side. So you kind of move that side seam right in so that it's in line with the zip like that. We're gonna, again, clip. I'm gonna see my grandson sing solo at his theatre tomorrow. He doesn't know I'm going. Oh, how lovely. Oh, that's lush. Oh, you'll be really surprised. Eileen, you love Russell Howard several times at Edinburgh Fringe. Oh, we were talking about we might do the Edinburgh Fringe next year. Obviously not this year, there's way too much going on, but we might do it next year. What you're going to do now is you're going to sew down from the top stitching. So I'm going to start at the top stitch there, and I'm going to sew down about 2 inches. Now you can measure this if you want, okay, like that. And I'm going to put a little mark there to make sure I stop there, okay? And you're going to do that on all 4 corners. So you're going to sew it, it's literally like, again, it's a bit less than the top stitching, 1/8 of an inch. That sort of distance away from my nail out. You're basically creating like a little faux piping. Okay, so what's he going to sing? Do you know what he's singing, Leslie? Or is it, is it a school thing, or what's he doing? I'm interested. It's school production, or is it at theatre? Oh, you said at the theatre. Oh, that's lush. Here we go. So back stitch to start with, and I'm going to come down 2 inches to that point that I marked. There we go. And lock stitch. You could come further down if you wanted to, but there's no need. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on this one. So I'm just going to quickly mark 2 inches. I've got a ruler on my machine here, and I'm kind of doing that. I'm just holding it at the 2 inches because I can't be bothered to mark it now. You can if you want to, though. If you want to be good, mark it. Okay. Come all the way down to that point. There we go. Lock it off, and we're going to do the other 4, and we're done. And if I'd have had the web in, it would have been a bag, finished. It's all the local schools doing a song, and he's singing a song from The Greatest Showman. Oh, lush. Love that musical. Right, let me just do the 2 inch mark. There it is. Just there. Put my finger on it. I love. Wow. Who doesn't love a bit of Hugh Jackman, though? Delicious. Well, Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron in the same film. Oh, what's the girls do? There we go, nearly there, and then the last one, like that. So again, measure my 2 inches, it's just there, keep my finger on it. Start at the top stitching. I don't start at the very top, I do start, you could if you wanted to. Just find it's a bit neater if you start at the top stitching. Oh, lock it off though. And then all the way down there. There we go. You're going to see your daughter in a college production called Love, Lies and Taxidermy, set in Merthyr Tydfil. Ooh, never heard that. Is that a play? Have I got to look that up? That sounds interesting. Right, okay, so that's now. I'm going to snip all those threads off like that. I'm going to open that out, and you can see you've got that lovely, lovely big bag. And then when you close it all up, what you want to do, I think I might put a cam snap just there, because I'm a bit anal about stuff like this. I like that to be nice and flat and stay flat, because the other one did. But I might actually put a cam snap on there, on this edge here, just to hold that all down. But if you give it a good press, in fact, actually, let me just quickly press it, because I haven't pressed hardly at all, have I? I'm going to press that. That will actually stay. There we go. Play with the bottom of that like that, so that, and then when you open it out, it will open all the way out, And you can get loads in there, absolutely loads. Obviously, I just need to sew up that bit as well. I'm going to hand stitch that. I like to hand stitch them. But it's a really big, I mean, it'd be amazing. Makeup in wash bag. If you lined it with oilcloth or something, makeup a wash bag, it'd be huge, wouldn't it? But I think it's fabulous. And we're going to come back to this one in a minute. When you've got the straps on, it's a brilliant project bag for taking, you know, to class and all with you, because you really can get absolutely loads in there. And I do like the fact it opens all the way up like that, and you can really see what's in there. You can really, I've got a jelly roll in there at the moment just to give it some weight, but it opens all the way up. So that is the open wide tote bag. Okay, so I'll come back over to this one. Hi, hopefully I'm over here now. So yeah, I'd be really, I mean, if you've got a teenage daughter who has a lot of makeup, it would be a fantastic makeup bag. In fact, you could put like another pocket in here, you know, with like little divided bits for like makeup brushes and stuff. You know, if you did a heat resistant wadding rather than just the fusible fleece, you could like put your straighteners in there as well and everything. So it's just a really nice bag, really lovely big tote. I mean, big enough really for a handbag. You know, if you put long straps on, it'd be big enough for a handbag if you're off for a little shop. But I do like the fact that it open wide and stuff. So I will, because you can definitely put the webbing on at this point if you wanted to. I'll see if we've got time. I'll see what block I'm going to do tomorrow. If I've got time, I'll show you how to do that tomorrow. If not, it's relatively self-explanatory. I did kind of show you how to do that. So that's it. See, I told you it was a bit of a longer one tonight. Sorry, my darlings. Love the wide opening. It's a great make. It really is. I will put a link up to a couple of the patterns that I kind of followed and, you know, kind of went, oh, I like that from that and like that from that. So I'll put that up for you, okay? Any questions or anything before we go? If not, I will see you all tomorrow. Let me just go back up the comments just a second, make sure I haven't lost anybody. No, I think you're all just saying thank you, which is lush. Actually, no, I can see now the lighting's not too bad on the overhead, is it, on this bit? That's good. I think the camera's... Love my jumper, thanks. It's a Shein special, Shein, however you pronounce it. Thank you. I think I might need to get the camera one moved slightly. I don't know if that was quite right, but we'll play with it. And hopefully the echo's gone, or it might be a little bit. Drew was like, oh, you've got to put foam on the walls and not soundproof, to dampen the sound or something. I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm going to put quilts on the walls. That'll help. I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Back to normal tomorrow. We've got block of the week. And then Sarah will be back on Thursday. I think she's doing a easy reversible tote that you can do with kids. It's really, really simple, easy sewing, because a lot of you are asking for little projects to do with grandkids and stuff like that. So she's going to do another bag. We ended up both doing bags, didn't we? But yeah, that's everything. I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget, if you are on the retreat, please do your menu choices. And that's it. I don't think I've got anything else. I'm sure there was something else I was supposed to tell you. Can't remember what it is though. No idea. I'll tell you tomorrow when I remember. Anyway, bye guys. Take care.